The Fox 61 News at 6 starts now.
And now at 6, get ready for the snow. Tonight we are tracking winter storm warnings and advisories across the state. Good evening and thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 6. I'm Stephen Reels. Now let's get right on over to meteorologist Sam Sampieri with how this is all going to pan out. Sam, we've got to know how many inches is the state really going to see, because we're starting to see snow right now.
Oh, yeah, we're seeing snow in western Connecticut, and I'm thinking we're seeing 6+ inches across a lot of the area, including even eastern Connecticut, and I'll talk about that as we move along in this newscast. You know, right now, live Doppler radar does show the dark blues there, and so there it is snowing, and it's just going to take another half hour or so to get into the Hartford area, and an hour by time we get to the end of the 6:30 to the 7 o'clock time area into eastern Connecticut. So again, we got the snow coming down at a good clip. Looking at some traffic cams, already snow-covered roads. And keep one thing in mind here: temperatures are very, very cold, and this snow is going to add up very fast during the next several hours. And you can see these bands starting to set up here. And this is what we're talking about. You get some banding here, you could pick up a good 1 to 2 inches per hour. And so we'll have to track this carefully, because this snow is going to be happening right through midnight and early tomorrow morning as well. More snow to the north and west. It's an Alberta clipper, and it's coming down fairly quickly. You have to go through all this band of snow, and it's going to head into the direction that's going to go just to our south, close enough for us to be in the heavy snow band. To the south and west, where there's a lot of warm air, that's where you get the sleet and rain. And look at this cold air mass: 21 Torrington to 29 in New Haven, even Bridgeport 27 degrees, and the wind is out of the east. It's a light wind. We don't have to worry about any drifting. And look at that. Now we're down to a half-mile visibility in Danbury. That tells me that we're getting into some moderate banding of snow. Notice Waterbury and Meriden, how it's still 10 miles. And look at the visibility already dropped in Bridgeport. So the snow is moving in, and there it is. The snow will be heavy at times until around and after midnight. It'll lighten up, but we still have snow tomorrow morning. There it is, with temperatures averaging in the 20s. Winter storm warnings, winter weather advisories. I'll go over those, who gets the most, who gets the least, and what you can expect through the rest of the weekend and into the New Year week. Stefan?
Thanks, Sam. Now, ahead of the snowfall he just mentioned, cities and towns across the state wanted to make sure they are prepared. And many of these communities have put parking bans in place to help with the snow cleanup that is going to come. Fox 61's Alicia Hercules is in Meriden with more on what you need to know about where to put your car.
Here in Meriden and in many other parts of the state, those parking bans have already gone into effect. If drivers don't move their cars off public streets, they can face hefty fines and even get their cars towed.
I totally agree with the parking bans. I think it makes it so much easier for the plows to get around and do their job more efficiently.
Susan Waterbury lives in Meriden. She says she'd rather have her car off the road to avoid any fines or her car getting towed.
I would not want to have to worry about it. That's another good reason to have the car off the road.
If a car is left on the road during a ban, the owner could be fined and their car will be towed at their expense. This also applies to cars left on the side of the road on highways as well. Josh Morgan, the communications director for the Connecticut Department of Transportation, says the less cars on the road when plowing begins, the better.
Well, the more space that there are for plow drivers to operate, the easier their job is.
Drivers without access to off-street parking are encouraged to park in a parking garage, a private lot, or at neighborhood recreational parks. The DOT says they're well prepared for the snowfall.
We have more than 650 pieces of equipment ready to hit the road tonight. 900 drivers are available.
They also have more than 200 contractors who will be on standby. Hours before the storm, drivers spent time preparing their trucks for the snowfall.
So when they get called in, they can go out, hit the road, and they're not going to go home until those roads are clear and safe for the traveling public sometime on Saturday.
Morgan says it's best to avoid driving during the storm if possible.
Please, if you have to head out tonight, slow down, stay alert, give yourself extra time, and don't crowd our plows.
The DOT says they haven't put any travel bans in place yet, but say that can change depending on the weather. For the latest weather updates, download the Fox 61 Plus app or visit our website, fox61.com. In Meriden, Alicia Hercules, Fox 61.
Thanks, Alicia. And one of those several cities and towns with a parking ban in effect is Southington. And the town is also offering several warming shelter locations for those in need. Fox 61's Valerie Moravi joins us live now from Southington, where she's going to tell us what we're going to be seeing. Valerie, what's it been like out there so far?
Hey, Stefan. Well, it seems like a pretty busy Friday night out here in Southington. The traffic is picking up. We've seen a lot of people going in and out of the stores. You know, parking lots are getting pretty packed at this moment, and no signs of snow just yet. But I've talked to some people here who are out and about on Friday night, and actually they're telling me they're pretty excited about the snow. They're not really so concerned about it, and I can tell why. So you guys are here enjoying your Friday night. How is it going? Just get a little closer. How are we prepping for the snow tonight or tomorrow this weekend?
You know, we're going to throw down some salt tonight, wake up early, shovel that snow, and then we're going right back to bed.
What about you?
I'm going to have the same plan, except I'm not going back to bed. We're going to try and head right to Mount Southington in the morning, catch some of that fresh powder.
Young people out here, can you tell?
I'll be doing the same thing, maybe catch some snow. I think that's the best bet.
I mean, it's the weekend, right? You know, people are off from work, maybe some kids are off to school. So, I mean, it seems like the light snow might be coming out in a little bit. It's 6 o'clock and we haven't seen snow, but the heavy snow, it might be coming out later tonight. But for what I understand, it's going to be a fun snow. It's going to be that type of fluffy snow that people can enjoy and easy to shovel. So that's going to be nice. And if you're out and about driving, make sure to drive safely. So for more details, you can always call 211 if you need a warming center. And for those details, you can also go to our website, fox61.com. For now, live in Southington, Valerie Moravi, Fox 61.
Thank you, Valerie. The death toll from a horrific UPS cargo plane crash in Kentucky has risen to 15. Louisville Mayor Craig Greenberg announced that Elaine Rodriguez Colina died on Christmas Day from severe injuries sustained in the crash. All 3 pilots on board and 12 people on the ground, now including Colina, died. About 24 others were hurt, and the National Transportation Safety Board is still conducting an investigation, and it could take up to 2 years before the NTSB releases a final report on the disaster. And an update tonight out of our Hartford after what investigators are calling a horrific crash on Christmas night. Police say a teenage boy was killed. Several family members were seriously hurt, and the driver accused of causing the crash took off. Hartford police say officers were called to Cornwall Street around 9 Christmas night. When they arrived, they found a Toyota Camry and a Tesla Cybertruck crashed head-on in the middle of the road. Inside the Camry were 4 people, all suffering from serious injuries. Police say a 14-year-old boy later died from his injuries at the hospital. The 50-year-old driver is now in critical condition, while a woman in her 20s and a 3-year-old girl are both listed as stable. Police say the driver of the Cybertruck ran away before officers arrived.
We are making strides in identifying that person. Have some very good starting points. At this point in the investigation, it appears that the Camry was traveling southbound on Cornwall Street. The Cybertruck was traveling northbound, entered into the southbound lane, and hit the Camry head-on. So, horrific accident.
Investigators believe speed played a role, though a full accident reconstruction is still underway at this time. Police say they've already received tips and are making progress identifying the Cybertruck driver. And they have spoken to the vehicle's owner, but they do not believe that person was behind the wheel. Anyone with information is urged to contact Hartford Police. And an update now on a deadly pedestrian crash in Waterbury. Police have identified the victim, and officers say 36-year-old Joseph McKendy of Haiti died after being struck by a vehicle on Monday night on Chase Avenue. Police say the driver stayed on the scene, and McKendy later died at the hospital from serious head injuries. The crash remains under investigation, and anyone with information is urged to contact Waterbury Police. And a Christmas morning chase ended with a major drug bust on I-91. State police say a driver was traveling more than 100 miles an hour after a Rocky Hill officer was dragged during a traffic stop. Troopers used stop sticks and boxed in the SUV near exit 28, ending the chase as a result. Police say the driver, 46-year-old Tyshawn Adams, had an active warrant and was found with large amounts of fentanyl, crack, meth, and drug packing materials. He's now facing multiple charges. And an early morning fire has left a Branford family without a home during the holiday season. Fire crews were called to Thimble Island Road just after 1:25 this morning for a house fire with flames coming through the roof. As you can see in these photos, firefighters battled heavy fire conditions for several hours, and the home is now uninhabitable. Everyone inside escaped safely, though, thanks to working smoke detectors, and one firefighter was treated for minor injuries. The cause of the fire still remains under investigation. And Christmas night took a frightening turn for one Monroe family, ending with a rescue. Firefighters were called to a house fire on Pastor's Walk just after 7:25 with pets trapped inside. Crews quickly put the fire out and safely rescued a missing cat. No one was hurt, and following the fire, officials are again urging working smoke alarms on every level of your home. And 16 people are without a home after a fire in Bridgeport this morning, where fire crews responded to Pembroke Street around 10 a.m. Details are limited at this time, but we are told the American Red Cross is helping the 11 adults and 5 children that were displaced by the fire. No one was hurt, and the cause of the fire is still under investigation.